welcome to your boys. Dave and Rasta is back live in action. If you're tuning in, we are kind of on a different platform at the moment, trying to build Sebastian Lane up and kind of get it back rising. So if you're tuning in, please make sure you like, hit the subscribe button as we build this brand. Um, so it's been a minute. It's been actually a little while. How you doing, man? You doing all right, Dave?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm rested up, man. We took a couple of days off, and I'm just thankful you let me come back and sit beside you. Thank you.
Hey,
I don't
I'm
know what
good.
I did wrong before, man, but I'm sorry. Thank
It's
you for
all
having me
good.
back.
Nah, man, it's all good. I want to go ahead. We got our first guest on. He kind of needs no introduction to the Sebastian Lane Show, as he is a familiar face. He is a Miami Hurricane. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in. He needs actually no introduction. What's good, my guy? How you doing?
Good, good. How about y'all?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. I can't
I was
complain at
about to
all.
give you a drum roll, but he brought you in too quick. So
Oh, that's
sorry.
good. Good.
Fireworks. I had fireworks and everything. Sorry.
So, man, so tell me something, bro. So your season just kicked off, right? You guys are feeling good, feeling confident. Obviously, some bad news just happened last week. You guys' quarterback went down. But it doesn't stop the beat. We're kind of moving forward. Just still trying to, keep the goal. How are you feeling? How's the season going for yourself? I know it's all over Twitter. I know Canes fans are happy, blessed to see you. But how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the season. We got a young guy. We got a young guy at QB right now, and he looking pretty good right now. So, and we got a big team. We got a real game this. We got a real game coming up Friday. So that's really gonna show us. But as far as the season, I've been feeling good. I caught my first pick last game. I caught my first pick. They ain't been trying me. They ain't been trying me. I was making a lot of big hits, but they ain't been trying me at all this year. So last game I caught my first pick, and yeah, the season been going pretty well.
So that kind of comes with the territory, right? You get the 5-star label next to your name,
Yeah.
national news. It kind of comes with that territory. Um, but obviously, it doesn't stop the grind. It doesn't stop the hustle. It's a team, kind of event. So it's good that you guys are feeling good. Obviously, still confident. As you said, big game coming up this week. Um, so we had a big game 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Miami rolls into Gainesville and puts belt to complete ass.
Overly.
How? First off, I mean, obviously, I know you were confident that Miami was going to go ahead and get a win, but watching the game, watching the outcome, what was that like? What was going through your mind? Like, did you see a 40-point ass whooping, or were you kind of like, I thought it'd be a little more competitive?
I mean, honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit more competitive. Like I knew we was gonna come out there and put belt, but I thought it was gonna put up a little bit more of a fight. I ain't gonna lie, it was bad. It was almost depressing how it was almost depressing how we came out there and how I did that. It was it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I thought they was gonna put up more of a fight, but it looked bad. It's getting bad.
So, obviously, you committed to Miami a few months now. Um, Seeing Miami do that, the buzz was crazy, right? Like you see
Yeah.
national media everywhere. Now recruits are here. What are you hearing? You ain't got to give names and nothing like that, but what are you hearing on the recruiting trail from other recruits? Like, people wanting to jump in, slip back. Like now, kind of guys that committed earlier, they're staying strong. Like, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing a lot right now. It's some guys that we working on, and I honestly think they're gonna flip. I think we're gonna flip a few guys, especially after this season, and especially when Cam go win that Heisman. It's gonna get real. We gonna we gonna make a run too, so it's gonna get real. I think we got a few guys that's gonna flip real soon. So y'all be tuned for that.
So, obviously, you're one of the newer commits, right? You're, I think, one of the third or fourth last ones to commit. But it seems like, I mean, as you look on social media and say like you taking on that ambassador role. Are you taking that on? Is that something that you want, or are you just kind of, man, I'm just out here doing my job?
You can say that again.
I said, is like so. If people see it on like social media and stuff, it looks like you kind of have taken on that ambassador role, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Something like, okay, when you committed, hey, I'm gonna be the ambassador, or is it just kind of something? Hey, I just want to play with dogs. Like, what's your take on it?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. I feel like it's a lot of guys in the country want to come play with me, but it's a lot of guys in the country that I want to play with too. So I think it's a little bit of both. But uh, yeah, most of the time, mostly it's just me. I'm just my personality and the way I move. I think a lot of guys want to come play with me, but yeah, yeah, I'm going with the flow though for sure.
I got you. I'm gonna pass my co-host, man. He'll chop it up with you, then pass it back.
First of all, I love how you say when Cam wins the Heisman, not if he does, not when he gets the Heisman.
Yeah, he
I
gonna get
love
it.
that. So obviously committed. Everybody's excited. So just kind of a question. Take us through a little bit. Obviously, your commitment, USC, and then to Miami, and you've heard from all programs all across the country. But now you committed, you settled in, senior season, all this stuff.
Yeah.
What's the communication with you and the staff now? And like, I'm not saying like how often you hear from them because I know you do. But like, what's the talk between you guys now? Because now everything's done, all right? You can concentrate on your senior year. You don't have to worry about visits and all that. How does that communication work now? What are the talks like?
We talking a lot of football. We talking a lot of football. Like we'll go and watch over almost the full game from from last week, and then watch over my games. So we talking a lot of football, but at the same time we talking a lot of recruiting too. Recruiting. We trying to get some guys. We trying to make a hell of a squad.
Okay. So now
Yeah,
it's the fun stuff. Now you guys get to kind of plan and get a strategy together of who else you want to add with you.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of their playbook. They giving me a little bit of sauce, so that's
Mm,
that's good too.
love it, love it. So you was at the Florida game, you said. Uh, will you be on campus this weekend, or when you gonna be at a Miami game?
Oh, no, no, no! I wasn't at the Florida game. I
Oh,
was
I'm
at
sorry.
I was on campus last week for the fam game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Okay.
yeah.
Well, you have plans to be back for another one, or
I'm most likely gonna be at the Florida State game for sure. I'm gonna be at the
okay,
Florida State game, and
that's a good one.
I don't know yet, but I'm most likely gonna be back on campus before that too.
Got you. Okay, okay. So one good thing about Miami, and you see a lot of young dudes play. Like if you can play, you're going to play. It's not a seniority type thing. How important is that to you, and how important is that to what you tell other recruits that you talk to?
With the guys that we got coming in right now, we trying to make an impact right now. So it's that's really our pitch on it. We trying to go play and make an impact, go make some plays, and got our team to the national championship. I think it's gonna be our young guys that really take us there. So I think
Yeah,
yeah, I think with the class that we got coming in, I think we're gonna make a real impact.
I agree. Now you don't have to give us all the details. Of course, you can if you want to, but ain't no way I'm not going to talk about the USC and coming back to Miami and all that. You ain't got to get crazy with it, but just a little bit. What went? You can get as crazy if you want to. But like, kind of what went into that decision. Are you still with us?
I think he's blacked out.
He said he don't want to talk about it at all. He hung up on me. I get this a lot.
You do get this a lot. That is true.
People,
You do
people
get
just
this a
hang
lot.
up on my ass all the time. That's all right. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. You see.
Oh
There he is.
man, hey y'all, I'm back. Y'all get me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You hear us?
Oh,
You hear us?
y'all can hear me?
We see you.
I can't hear y'all.
Yeah.
Now. I can't hear y'all.
Can you
Oh
see
man,
us?
somebody called me.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick him
Hey,
real quick. Let me hear you.
USC cut USC
Okay.
cut your phone lines.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. You can ask that question again. Somebody had called me.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, yeah, USC's calling you, telling you not to say
Oh,
nothing. No, I was just asking. Like, you ain't got to tell us everything. Just kind of, the decision. What went into that. How big of a deal was that to you, and how much thought process and who helped you with it. Just kind of the ins and outs of that.
Really, when I first visited in around like January, I fell in love with it. It's a beautiful campus. It's a great place. I like Coach Lynn a lot, and yeah, it was amazing. So I feel like I made the decision pretty early because that's I felt like it was the right decision. But as I thought about it a lot, it was it got kind of crazy. It was my family being so far from them, and
Mm.
that was like that was the biggest thing, being so far from my family. And then like I'll have like games that they really won't be able to see like almost on TV because it'll come on so late night
Mm.
and different stuff like that. That was really the most part. It wasn't nothing crazy. That was the most part. It was my family. It was a family thing.
Okay, got you. Last thing for me, you don't have to name any names. Anybody else in that USC class that you're talking to?
Uh Nah, not in
No.
the USC class. Not in the USC
Okay.
class.
Okay.
Nah.
All right. All good.
I like the D lineman, Gus. I talked to him a lot, but he locked in.
Yeah. I get.
He real locked in. But
I
yeah, that
understand.
was that's really the most for the
Yeah.
most part. I ain't got
Okay.
I don't not not another USC commits right now.
Okay. Good deal, man. That's all I got for you. Super excited to see you in the class. Best of luck this year. Keep recruiting, man. Keep bringing them in, man. We appreciate your hard work already, and I'm gonna throw it back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes,
I just
sir.
got a few more, man, and I get you out of here. So, we go back to the Florida game. So, obviously, Miami's replacing two safeties, all right? James Williams and Cam Kitchens went ahead and bounced to the league. You have two guys, one, Niche Powell, who's come from, the national championship runner up. And then you get guys like Jaden Harris and Marquise Williams who are new. And then you see Zaquan and some of these other younger guys, they're starting to play. What do you see? Like, what does that mean to you seeing that those young guys are actually playing?
I love that. I love that. I love that the coaches trust the young guys enough to put them on the field. That's that was a big thing about Miami that I like. They don't really they don't care if you can ball, you can ball.
Nah, I got you. I got you. So I want to talk something real quick because, like, me and your mom talk all the time, right? Your mama live, bro. Your mama lit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. She turned.
so you guys came on an official visit, right? And it looked like your mom and dad had more fun than you did. Talk me
Yeah,
through it, man. Like, kind of what like because I know you enjoyed the stuff too, man. But is that kind of what sold you guys as a family on Miami? Like, not even just yourself, but your parents enjoyed it. They had a great time. Like, kind of that was still the deal for you.
yeah. Definitely. My people, they absolutely loved it. The coaches loved them up. And they feel like these are the kind of people that they can hand a kid over to, and they were very comfortable with the staff. And I feel like they weren't comfortable. Like they were pretty comfortable with each staff, but I feel like they love Miami staff. They like them the most,
I
and
got,
they feel like that was the most comfortable place for me too. So that's
I got
that's
you.
really that was really the deal. Silly, they love my people up for sure.
So almost a year ago to this day, we had you on this show, right? And I want to take it back to to a conversation we had, right? Big Bro plays in Tallahassee. We're not gonna name that school, but he plays in Tallahassee, right? Even though Miami just beat the better Tallahassee school, but he plays up there, right? Are you in his ear like, hey, you need to go ahead and hit the portal, come on down with me, or you kind of like, hey, we just have a sibling rivalry here?
Uh, I'm in his ear. I definitely want him to come with me. I'm in his ear for sure. He thinking, but he with his team for sure. But I'm in his ear. I'm in his ear. I'm definitely in his ear.
I got you, bro. Hey, man, it's always a pleasure, bro. As always, we'll be locked in, we'll be tuned in. Hopefully, if y'all do come down to the Florida State game, we'll get you down to the tailgate. You and the family come hang out. Kumbaya with some of us down there, man. And we'll be in touch as always, bro.
Definitely. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
Thank
Always,
you,
bro.
man.
Have a good night, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
All right, buddy. All right, man. So obviously, if y'all don't know who that is, Mr. Hilton Drake Stubbs, 5-star Miami Hurricanes commit. Um, I love that kid, bro. Even from the first time we had him on, he's always
Yeah.
been like that. He's always been a character. He's always got energy. He just brings. I'm glad to have him a part of the team. Our
Yep.
next guest is already backstage, so I want to go ahead and bring him on. Um, some of the Miami fans need to get used to this name. This is probably one of the biggest names in the state of Florida, Mr. JJ Sparks. Can you hear us, bro?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. How you doing tonight, bro?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. We appreciate your time. Real quick, you're in the 2026 class. I want this Miami Hurricane fans to kind of get you so you get to know your name. Explain who you are, where you're from, what position you play. Well, I already said the class, so just who you are and where
What
you
was the
play.
end of the question there?
Just tell them who you are, what position you play, and where you go to school at.
All right. I'm JJ Sparks. I go to school at the Bulls High School. 2026. I play pretty much any position. I've moved around a lot. Mainly stay in the interior now. But
I got you. I got you. Real quick, man. What's your current height and weight?
I'm at 6'4", 295 right now.
Got you. Okay. So obviously you just seen we had another fellow Jacksonville native on
Yes,
the
sir.
show. Obviously, man, you guys in that Duval area, very proud of where you're from, right? Seeing guys like him, like going and shining, becoming 5-star, household name around the nation. What does that mean for you? Like, how do you like? Because you play with some studs. I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but seeing guys like that. Obviously, Manor's got 2 5-stars. Great quarterback committed to Florida State as well. What does that feel for you guys that are coming up the ranks? Seeing other guys doing it.
Yes, sir. It's definitely awesome. I know another O lineman, Derek Plaus, that came out of Mandarin too. I got to see
Yeah.
him a few times when I was up there.
Nope.
But it's definitely awesome to see a bunch of guys in the area.
Yeah. And you got another 5-star lineman too, in Solomon Thomas, right around the
Yep.
corner. Yeah, that area is loaded, man. I know that's why Miami wants to get in there. And I know Miami's recruiting you hard, man. Who do you hear from, kind of either all the time, often? Is it Coach Cristobal, Coach Mirabal? Who are you hearing from?
I'm in a group chat with the 2 assistant O-line coaches, Mirabal, and then Coach Cristobal as well. And we'll talk like before game day. Then I'll like wish them good luck before their games and stuff. But we
Okay,
talk pretty often.
that's what's up, man. So, like I was just saying, your 26 class is amazing. Like, it is
There.
deep. It's not, a lot of people we talk about across the nation, this state of Florida class is impeccable, especially at O line, which is something that Florida gets kind of overlooked at, right? So someone like yourself and Solomon, like all you guys are balling right now. What does that mean for you? Like, do you hear that stigma? Oh, Florida don't produce the big uglies. Is that kind of something that gets under your skin and just like, hey, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong? Like, how do you hear that, or does that even bother you?
I mean, I honestly don't hear that too much, but it definitely wouldn't bother me if I did. I mean, there's a bunch of guys in the area that are dogs at O-line too. So,
So I want to get into your game real quick. So like you say, you mostly play interior, but you can play pretty much anywhere on the O
yes,
line,
sir.
right? Where is Miami recruiting you? Or are they just kind of saying, "Hey, we just want you. We'll put you wherever." Like, where Miami recruiting you at?
I've talked to Coach Mirabal about it a little bit, but he was talking center, but definitely like in the interior. But we're looking at center.
Okay, I got you. Where, like, do you prefer playing any position, like left guard, right guard? Or, like, does it matter to you?
Uh, Not really, to be honest. I like the left side, but I played both ways. I played right tackle in middle school, and then moved over to the left side once I got the Bulls. And then I've kind of just moved around. Started at left tackle my freshman year, and then moved into the interior.
I got you. So there's a guy that Dave, my co-host over here, loves. That's his guy, right? He's actually one of the he's a fan favorite on this show when he was on here a couple years ago. Mr. Jack Pyburn, right? Out
Okay.
of Bulls. He's out of Bulls, right? Do you talk to him often? Like, I don't think you played with him, if I'm not mistaken. I think
No,
you
yeah, I ended up missing him by a year.
got you. So do you hear from him? Does he come back? 'Cause I know Bulls is a really good traditional school. Like, you talk to him often?
So we have a tradition on Thanksgiving. If we make it in the playoffs and get to Thanksgiving, all like the alumni come back, and we'll have like a breakfast like thing, and then we'll all talk. and then like we'll all group up, and the alumni will like give their like part, and then Pyburn stopped in a couple times during the year too, like check out practice, and I've seen him a few times when I was at Florida as well.
Gotcha. So Miami offered you, earlier this year. Um, is that something that like played a part? Like, okay, I'm really now like I want to go see Miami. They offered me. I talked to the head man. I talked to one of the best O line coaches in the country. Like, is that something that's big to you? Not only are you talking to the O line coach, but the head coach, who's the O lineman himself.
Can you repeat that again?
I was saying, in your recruitment, is that something that's big for you? Like, not only is the O line coach recruiting, but the head coach himself, who is an O line guy. Is that something that's big for you in your recruitment?
Oh yes, sir, definitely. That was pretty big when he called me, and I was pretty excited about that.
I got you. I'm gonna pass my co-host, man. He'll chop it up with you, man. Pass it back.
First of all, like I don't ask for a lot on here. I don't get a lot. And every now and then we get a recruit on that I'm big on. And I've been hearing this Pyburn crap for 2 or 3 years now. Mr. Pyburn, if you're out there, see what you're doing? You still just come on over, man. Just make the move, make our lives easier, get people off my back. Now, on to the task at hand here. So you're already, give or take 20 some offers, big programs, all this stuff. You got a long way to go in your recruiting process. You're
Yes,
still
sir.
going to get offers, hear from programs, this and that. Is this something this early on? Are you still truly enjoying this process? Is it something that, you're already kind of like, man, this is kind of getting to me? Because everybody's different. Some dudes absolutely love it. Some guys kind of don't. What's your take on the recruiting process this early on in?
I've definitely enjoyed it, like getting to go around like different game days, check out like practices, see like facilities and stuff, and then get to talk to a bunch of coaches.
What's kind of so on that? What's something that's kind of stuck out to you so far? Something you've seen kind of stood out to you? The kind of one of the coolest things you've seen, some people you met. Just kind of take us through your process so far.
I don't know about the coolest thing that I've seen. I can't really think of anything, but
Okay.
I definitely liked how Miami does their practices because it's kind of the same like format of how we do ours, and
Okay.
and how they like Coach Mirabal was talking about how iron sharpens iron, and
Mm-hmm.
like that's like the same like type things that we say too during practice, and we go like 100%. And I liked how they like have theirs like set up and formatted.
Okay, cool. You mentioned, kind of an interior. You can play anywhere on the line, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
You said Coach Mirabal has mentioned center. That gets me excited because I really want Miami. We were lucky with Matt Lee. We've got Zach Carpenter now, but anybody who knows me knows I want Miami to get and develop a true center out of high school. I really want that. Um, are you hearing that from other programs? Like, do they see you at center? Like, what are other programs telling you other than Miami as far as where they want you?
It kind of just depended on the program. It's been like kind of 50-50 if they're talking like interior or like see me at the center position. But
Okay,
I mean, I've heard like mixed things from different places.
got you. I know you've been on campus, this sort of thing, but kind of the folks watching who don't really know your history and that. When have you been on campus most recently? When do you plan to be back? That sort of thing.
So I took I'm trying to remember when my first visit was.
I think you were there like back at the beginning of the year, like March, April, something
Yes,
like
sir. Yeah.
that.
I came to a practice and then
Okay.
I ended up coming to another practice during the spring. And then there was another day where it was like a recruit day. And like you got to go
Okay.
around and like see everything and then take like pictures and stuff.
Gotcha. Do you have any plans to get back anytime soon yet, or you don't
Yes,
know?
sir. I was planning on coming to the Florida State game when they play Florida State.
You're hearing that a lot, man. Like everybody we're talking to, we're like, when are you coming back for the state game? Like that's
It's a big game.
circled. That is, yeah, that's going to be big. Like literally, you can almost throw the records out the window when that
Yeah.
happens. It's going to be huge. So,
Yes, sir.
good stuff. One more thing, man, and I'll pass it back, and we'll kind of let you go. As you get into your final run, your high school career, and that sort of thing, a couple things maybe that you want to continue to work on and develop, and you think you need to get better at as a player before you get to college.
my main thing was working on getting my hands inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like definitely something that I've been improving on during the summer and the spring. And then just working on like pad level too, not playing too
Gotcha.
high.
Gotcha. Fantastic, man. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck and everything. Take every single visit you can possibly take, man. It's a good time in your life. So, yep. Thank you so much. I'm gonna pass it back, Rostal.
I got you, man. We got a few more, man, and we'll get you out of here for the night. So, thing I wanted to hear, right, is Miami versus Florida. A couple weeks ago, Miami went to Gainesville, put Belt in complete ass. So, watching that game as a recruit, right? What was your take on that? And then kind of what was your outlook on it? Were you expecting that? Expecting to be a little more competitive? And then after, what was your view on the game? Or your view on both programs?
Um, I didn't think it was like much of a crazy surprise. I was kind of expecting it to be a close game and go down to the wire, but then they opened the can on them. But I mean, I didn't really have like too much like going into the game. I was just thinking it was going to be a close game, and then at the end, I was just like, dang, beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah. So when you look at Miami now, it looks like we're 2-0, and then maybe a program like Florida. I mean, I really don't know what Florida's going to turn out to be. Towards the end of the year, you just never really know. But it doesn't look like promising, right? On the other side, what is your take on that? Like, do you think Florida can get it back together? And like with Miami, do you think Miami can sustain this going through the rest of the season?
With Florida, I'm not really too sure because they got to work on that the O line play and then the quarterback situation. Don't know where that's going to go. But for Miami, it's future's looking pretty bright with Cam Ward. He's a dog, so I mean, see where that goes. But he's looking good.
I got you. So we'll talk about Miami. So obviously, like we said, you got Coach Mirabal, one of the best O line coaches in the country, but then you got Coach Cristobal right there, and O line has been like one of the biggest priorities since they got here. And when you look at their O line, and Miami's taking some transfers, right? When you look, you see Inez Cooper, he's kind of from up that way where you're from, and you got guys like Francis Malanoa, Matthew McCoy, another guy that's from up that way, North Florida. How do you look at that? Because we kind of hear the Florida State rumblings. They don't develop, they get trash. But when you look at Miami, it's kind of like I can see both. They're taking portal, but they're also developing guys like Cooper and McCoy and Francis. So what is your take on that? Like as a recruit, kind of how is your outlook on Miami using the portal and using some of their guys to recruit?
I think they recruit really good out of high school for O line as well, but they have taken some good guys out of the portal too. But I think it's just like how Mirabal is like translating his coaching onto them and just making them play so physical. Like you could see during the Florida game how they just beat him up in the box and played like so violently compared to other teams' O lines.
Nah, I agree. I agree too. So, last before I get us out of here, man, go ahead, shout yourself out. Let everybody that's watching know where to follow you, where to tune in, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want them to follow you at.
My Instagram is JJ_Sparks 55. And my Twitter is JJ Sparks 2026. That's pretty much it.
Sounds good, man. We'll be in touch for sure. Enjoy your night. Have a good rest of your season, man. We'll have you on probably a little later into the season. See how everything's going for you guys. And enjoy your night, man. We'll be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
buddy. Good night. All right, man. So, obviously, 2026 offensive linemen. I want to start getting to these 26 guys because it's right on the corner. We're knocking on the door there. We'll go ahead and get our next guy on. Oh, speaking of them, so like I said, we're gonna get into these 2026 guys, get you guys introduced and well equipped with it. I really want Miami Hurricane fans to really know who this gentleman is. One of the best wide receivers in the entire country. I don't care the class. From right up, basically right here next door to Miami, and get him on, let him introduce himself. What's good, man? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got you, man. We appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time tonight, man. Real quick for fans that are watching live, if we're watching a rewatch, let them know who you are, where you're from, and what position you play.
I'm Jaden Petit, class of 2026. Play receiver, and I'm from Naples. I go to school at First Baptist Academy.
I got you, brother. So I want to get into some football talk with you, which you get these minor Hurricane fans used to you because your class is literally right around the corner, man.
Yeah.
So first off, what's your current height and weight?
Right now, I say about like 6'3", 6'3", 6'4" range.
Okay.
And yeah, I say 200 to 205, depending on if I'm playing or not.
I got you. So obviously, Miami has been recruiting you since Coach Beard has got here. How is that relationship with Coach Beard? Like, he's obviously been building it now going on 2 years, or going on a year fully, but going into your year two. What's that relationship like with you and Coach Beard?
I said we got a really tight knit relationship because we talk pretty often, from day in day out. So I feel like we got a really close knit relationship.
I got you. So you're becoming what we would call a frequent visitor to Miami. Been down quite some times, right? Obviously, you're right here. You're actually in my backyard, but we live right across the pond from Miami, so it's easy, right? What's that like? Is that something that plays a part in your recruitment? Like literally it's close to school to you, or it doesn't really matter. You're going to go wherever you want to go.
I mean, I feel like it doesn't really matter for me as long as I fit the scheme. I'll go play anywhere.
Okay. So getting into this season, Miami is 2-0 at the moment. You were just at FAMU game, if I'm correct. Did you get to go up to the Florida game?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I know me and you spoke after the game, just a little bit. So just kind of give us like your brief overview of what your take was, what your thoughts were when Miami went up to Gainesville and put complete belt to ass that week. Just like, what's your outlook on that? What's your thought process? I'm gonna say that for all you. Like, I'm making sure I won't ever Florida fan to know we just beat the hell out of them. So just excuse me for a while. But nah, real quick, man. What was your outlook on that game? Like, did you think it was going to be like that? Did you think it was closer? You think Florida was going to win? Like, what was your outlook on that game?
I thought Miami was gonna win. That's what my score prediction was. I thought it was gonna win, but like I didn't think it's gonna be that bad. Like going into Florida, Gainesville, and then beating them at home that bad is crazy. And they SEC too, so I thought it'd be a lot closer.
Gotcha. So obviously you're a receiver, right? And the stigma around Miami has been, well, since Coach Chris wasn't here, is he likes to hinder the offense. He wants to run the ball, everything else. You go up, you see him let Cam just rip it. I mean, the ball was going everywhere. I think we completed a pass for like 7 different receivers that night, stuff like that. Was that stuff like an eye opener to you, or you kind of like, I already knew that I've been to practice?
I mean, yes and no, because I've been like to practices and stuff like that and seen it, but just like knowing they actually like do it in game as well, and it's not just like something they put on for recruits. It's like it is eye opening. So it was eye opening for me too as well.
I got you. So you got over to Miami this weekend for the FAMU game. What was your take live? Like seeing the guys rep. I mean, you've seen young guys like JoJo, Nakar, Chance. A lot of the younger guys got in the game as well. I mean, a lot of guys played in Florida too. But what was your take on that? Is that something that's important to you? Kind of getting on the field early, whether it's starting, whether it's just getting rep. Is that something that plays a role to you?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get on the field early, like be able to try to start early as well. But like just seeing how like they rotate guys in, even though if you like not a starter, you still getting some playing time here and there. It does mean a lot too, because at least you're not like sitting on the bench the whole game and not getting no reps and just practicing. Game reps mean a lot as well.
I got you. Got one more, man. I'm gonna pass to my co-host. So there's a stigma that likes to go around with big wide receivers, right? Oh, they're just jump ball guys. They're just guys, possession receivers. Your game in general, would you like? What do you think of that? When people say, "Oh, Jaden's just a jump ball guy. He's just a big receiver," like now you got speed too. What's your take on that? Like, what do you consider yourself as a wide receiver?
Say that again, sorry.
So what's your take on you as a wide receiver? Like, do you think you're just a jump ball guy, or do you think, hey, I'm Mr. Do It All. Like, what's your take on yourself?
I feel like I can do it all. I feel like I'm very versatile when it comes to playing receiver. Like I can go deep like those deep ball guys, but I also can run like in slot routes. I can do everything on the field you need me to do. I'm physical. I can go play anywhere you need me to. I'm just like to play anywhere as well.
Nah, I got you, bro. I'll pass my co-host, man. He'll chop it up, man. Pass it back.
So definitely want to get into your Miami offer, recruiting, all that in a minute. But before we do, just recruiting in general, kind of take us through what summer was like for you. You know, where'd you go? What'd you see? That sort of thing.
Summer, I think I've been to like most of the Florida schools, or like the ones that have offered at least. Like I've been to UCF, USF. I went to Miami. I didn't get to go to Florida this summer, but last summer I did. Yeah, just going to those schools, get to see practices and stuff like that. That's really what recruitment's about. And then, yeah, that was really it.
Okay. Is it important to you to stay in state?
Nah, not at all. I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay, got you. All right, so get kind of the Miami offer. You've had that offer for a minute now. You got it a while back. Can you kind of tell us about that offer, how it came about, who it was from, kind of what led to that?
Um, how it came about. To be honest, I'm trying to think about it right now. I'm trying to see how.
Yeah, I didn't know, like, you know, had you camped and they saw you? Was it something with the coach at your high school? Kind of how did you get in touch with the staff, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I believe it was last summer or something like that. Close to
Yeah.
it. Just I went to a camp and then was showcasing my talents there. I got to get like a little mini tour of the facility and all that stuff, and then I was offered, and I got to talk to Cristobal and all the staff members on the team. So yeah, I was
Okay.
experience.
All right. Very cool. I've seen a couple of pictures, seen you tag Coach Pata, who's a O-line coach at Miami, assistant O-line coach there. Is there a relationship there with him?
Yeah. It's family.
Okay, yeah, because I know he's one thing about the Miami staff is like if you're a wide receiver, you don't just get recruited by a wide receiver coach. It's kind of a whole effort. So I always like to hear that when I see another position coach kind of involved in that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
what's the plans as far as getting back to Miami? You coming back for games? Kind of what's the thing going forward there?
I think I'm coming back to like at least 1 to 2 games. Yeah, I plan to come back for sure though. Like I'm not sure which games there, but I plan definitely to come back.
Okay. It sounds like Florida State game is going to be a big one. Everybody we've asked the question to, everybody's like, "Yeah, I'm going to try to get to the Florida State game." So
yeah, that's the one I try to go.
yeah, yeah, that's one that's always circled, no matter what the records are. That's always big on the calendar. So, good deal. Other sports, man. What else you do when you're not on the football field? What else you doing?
I play basketball as well. Whenever I'm not in football, I go play basketball, and that's really it. I play football, basketball, and train. That's it.
Okay. So that's kind of your hobbies and everything, basketball, sports. That's kind of what you're doing 24/7.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Last thing for me, and I'm gonna pass it back. Teammates, man. Somebody on your team that you think needs to get a shout out, needs to get some attention as well. Turn some heads their way.
My dog Ethan Crossan, my quarterback. Like he's real good, and then he should get like chance to be looked at as well. I feel like since he's like a little undersized, I feel like people overlook him, but like doesn't match his like skill set. Him being undersized, but the skill set that he has as a quarterback is really well. So it's like I feel like he should get a chance to be looked at.
Got you. Very good, man. Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna pass it back, and my co-host get you out of here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
man. I got a few more, and we'll knock you out. So, real quick, man, is there anybody that you looked up to growing up playing wide receiver or another position, playing football in general?
Growing up, I did like Calvin Benjamin. I like him as a receiver growing up, but like now, I say my favorite receiver right now is Justin Jefferson. I like watching him play, like how he works. So yeah.
I got you. So, obviously, you play at a great school down here in Naples. Is there a school around here that you're looking forward to? Miami Central, Port Charlotte, because they got Myron Charles. Is there a school that you kind of like, man, I want to go play them?
Not in particular, because our schedule is like pretty hard. So we got a pretty hard schedule this year. So every team that we have that on the schedule and that we're about to play right now is going to be really good. So I mean, it's going to be great to play against all them guys and see what we stand up against and how we play.
I got you. Is there like a timeline you kind of want to wind down your recruitment, top five, maybe commit? Is there like a timeline?
Not yet. I haven't decided the timeline yet. I haven't got that.
I got you, bro. I appreciate the time, man. Appreciate you, coming on the show. Real quick before you get out of here, shout yourself out, man. Let people know where to follow you, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want people to tune into your recruitment.
My Instagram is JP3TIT, and that's all I got. And on my Twitter is Jaden Petit, my first and last name 12, and that's it.
I got you, boss. Enjoy your night, man. We'll be in touch for sure. We'll have you back on maybe a little later into the season, see how your season and stuff is going.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
man. Have a good night. All right, man. So obviously, that's a big time wide receiver right here out of Southwest Florida. You may want to get to know him. Miami is definitely loving that kid, loving every bit of his recruitment right now. And they feel pretty good about where they stand. We got one more guy that may hop on. I know Dave's tired, it's past his bedtime, so kind of struggling at the moment.
It was past my bedtime when I got on here.
So we'll stay on a few more minutes, man. Any questions in the chat? Anybody got, something they want to ask? Obviously, Fall State week, not a huge, competitor or whatever. Still a game. Still got to see our Hurricanes play. We still should be riding this high horse. That week one win, bro, it was amazing. It is wonderful. So it's fun, but getting into, kind of what's going to happen with recruits, right? You're coming off a win. This is about that time where Mario decides to get that spatula out and start, flipping some pancakes, making some flips happening. How are you feeling going into this middle of the season? Obviously, once September ends, we'll be in the middle of this year. How are you feeling going into this year?
Yeah, I feel good right now. I was excited to see so many young guys get to play last week, right? And I think a lot of folks kind of looked at that. The Florida game, the thing that stuck out was no mistakes, penalties, things like that. You saw more of that last week, but when you go and you look at why did that happen? Because you had guys in there playing that don't play a lot, right? You had some really young dudes. So you let them get in there, make those mistakes in the games that you can kind of recover from, right? So I'm kind of looking forward now. I want to see more of those young guys continue to play, and I want to see those mistakes from them start to go down a little bit as they kind of get used to some things. And I think a lot of fans got to be patient with that. We all want a perfect game, but these are what these games are for. I was excited about this schedule. If we got past Florida, and we did, belt to ass, a wise man once told me. But now you get these three games, you can fine tune some things, right? You can get some guys in, and I think that from A&M and out of Ball State and in South Florida, right? And so on the road at South Florida, so you get a little bit different atmosphere before you get into the meat of the schedule. So I think everything there lines up right now. I feel really good, man, about, like I said, the obvious things. Cam Ward, I get that, but you're going to need that depth and those layers as we get into the season, and I think that's what they're trying to push right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is that perfect time to fine tune. Like you were saying, you obviously couldn't do it week one. You had a big match. You had to go up there and make a statement in general. But the thing is, when you're looking at kind of, you're wanting to get those young guys, some burn, some playing time, and you'll get them some more later on. Obviously, if you do what you're supposed to, handle business later on in the year. But this is the perfect time right now. FAMU, Ball State, USF to get some of these guys. But if you look at it, they rested a lot of guys. Like, didn't even take a snap at all, right? So, and I think I've heard some people say, "Oh, people are in panic mode. They get sloppy." First off, if you could consider it a hangover game, right? Because at the end of the day, he's kind of coming off a big win. So some people in general are going to kind of have that little roller coaster. But if you look, we played like 76 scholarship players. Saturday, like there was walk-ons playing. That is
Yeah.
nuts when you think about it. So all in all, when you go back and you kind of look into that game, because I don't understand why anybody would be complaining. When you have new people and there's no leadership, I don't say leadership, but like no experience on the field that can kind of grab a dude, shake them, that leader, that alpha on the field, you're going to have some moments. Just
Yeah.
it happens. But at least when those moments happen, the team didn't break. That was kind of something that was huge.
Yeah. How cool was it? Like, obviously, you don't want to see anybody get injured, and I don't mean it to sound that way, but what a good day it is when somebody like Ruben Bain goes out of the game so early on the road at Florida, and you don't skip a beat.
At
Look
all.
at what that last year. What if that had happened, last year? And when Ruben came out, anybody who says they weren't concerned is lying.
Right.
And then you get these dudes come in, and now you got 4 or 5 dudes at one position that are basically all starters. You can only start 2 at a time, right? So, but
We,
that depth, and to see him play as a young guy last year, and look what it's led to. And now you're seeing these young dudes. That's why it's so exciting to see these young guys, because you've seen what happens when you see that Mal Noah on the O line, right? You see young guys, and now you see these young dudes last week play. Make some mistakes, yeah. Newsflash, he made a few last year himself, and
yeah,
then he comes in this year and is playing basically perfect football. So you see it happen. It's not just being talked about. You can see it panning out. And that's what gets me excited about seeing these young dudes being able to get in these early games, and that's going to pay off down the road when you need them in those situations, man. It looks good on a talent level. I'm telling you, what a difference a few years
it
can make.
does. I mean, you got to think. Justice Scott got his first career sack, right? That's a key tackle. You watch Cole McConvey; he was getting pressure on the quarterback consistently. Then you had Marquise Lightfoot come in, and boy, he looked
Yeah,
good. Like that dude was amazing coming off the ball, right? I mean, when you look at stuff like this, it's kind of like, why are y'all why? Y'all just want to be upset. Like you just want to be mad. At the end of the day, when you're looking at stuff like that, and recruits are like, hey, I'm happy, because at the end of the day, you don't see the coach out there putting his head down, pouting, crying, or just snapping on the guy. They're on the sideline. Cam Ward is over there coaching. You have what's called Niche Powell over there coaching. Daryl Porter over there coaching. You have other guys on the field, like upperclassmen,
yeah.
pulling the young guys to the side. Hey, I know you.
Reuben Bain was coaching. He wasn't playing.
He was
He was coaching.
exactly.
He looks
He was
like an
coaching.
assistant coach, man.
Yo, yeah, like
That,
to me when I see stuff like that, that's a bright side. That's like, man, we finally have made it.
yeah,
To that
yeah.
phase, of the progression is upward.
Yeah, I thought one of our biggest bright spots, and I think you're starting to see it, was the leadership at almost every position, right?
Ever.
Obviously, quarterback, we get that, but you look at the O line, the leadership you've got there.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the wide receivers with their Stripple, you see it there. You look at the linebacker room, you see it there. And it's cool, the linebacker room, right? You look at Noah there, but then you seen Popo last week laying some licks,
Yeah.
man. Got an interception, just looked good, man. You can just see the young guys following these older guys who are bringing them along and teaching them, and it's so cool. And that hit, man, I can't say enough about X and Restrepo. And he hit that dude, man, going out of bounds right there, and dude didn't get up. It just looks different, And this is what we heard it would look like, but we've heard it before. But now you're actually seeing it in year 3 of this whole Cristobal era. So it's good stuff, man. Good time.
Yeah, and like I was telling the guys, also something that never gets talked about is this is also the week for coaches to fine tune their stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to
Hmm.
see it this week. They may make it a little more vanilla, like, kind of simpler it down, but they're going to open up different formations. They're going to look at different schemes. They're going to look at different plays just to test and see if it works. How does, Cam respond to this RPO or, to this, big router. They're going to look at so many different things schematically, not just with Cam, but with Possenberger. Because Lord forbid Cam goes down, you got to have a backup. You know, you have to get these guys reps. They got to mess up so coaches can know, hey, we got to fix this. And it's not like Florida State messing up. Like, not your starter. starters, not your guys that you're up here claiming that are all ACC, all conference players. These are guys that are true freshmen, guys that are getting developed. And you even hear Coach Cristobal talk about it, right? We have to do better developing and preparing these younger guys. That comes with the territory. Some of these guys just got on campus a couple months ago. Like that's a huge thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, I love every minute of it. To be honest with you, this to me, I just feel like we're finally turning that page, right? Like this isn't like kind of what Florida State's going through. Feel like they turned a page, but the wind blew it back.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it feels like, and like I said, it feels. So it could definitely go back. Next year if we don't do what we're supposed to. But you got to be able to take that page and continue to flip it. Move to the next chapter. And it feels like Mario is hands on deck making that happen.
Yeah. I'm not saying we're exactly where we want to be, but we are a whole lot further along than where we were. I'm telling you, you go back and look, 4 years ago, and the difference, not only in how we play, but just how we look getting off that bus. The physicality that one of our guests was talking about earlier, and he's seen it just on that offensive line, and we've heard that. You want to be physical in the trenches, physical run game. And you're seeing everything that we've been told so far is coming out, and now you got to do is keep stacking those wins. That's all you got to do is win.
No, I agree, and to me, when you finally hear players say it was harder in practice that week,
Yeah,
they said it in Florida. They didn't say it during training. They said I felt that is a testament of Mario turning that culture around.
That's like a Miami staple that you haven't heard in a long time. Remember, you used to hear them dudes talking about, practice was easy or practice was hard, and you get to the game, it was easy. And then you heard that this season, and that kind of shows you where things are going, and you talk about there for a long time. We heard the new Miami, no, man, give me that old Miami is what I want. And you kind of getting that little bit of those vibes back again. I'm not saying we're there. I'm just saying that's kind of where we're headed, and it's nice. It feels good.
Yeah, and I'll tell you too what kind of should make Kings fans happy is when you sit back and listen to Coach Cristobal talk. He's confident. Like,
bro, not only is he confident, he's excited. I say it all the time, man. He's a bigger fan than we are. People got to understand. He's the head coach, and I get all that. But at heart, and you see that after these wins, you've seen him, break that gator chomp over his knee after that. You see him in the locker room, man. And I don't think I could be happier for anybody on that sideline than that dude, because he's a fan for anything, and it's just so cool to see him enjoy that and live this out. I love it.
He built this program. He was one of the pieces that built this program in the 80s, was here through the 90s, and it came back in the 2000s, right? He was a piece of that. So not only does he understand what what it's going to take, you don't think that a guy that built the program to what it, or helped build, let me say that, helped build it to where it got, you don't think he wants that again? You don't think that alumni that he
and now to be the guy, like you said, that helped to get it to where it was, but now to be the guy to get it back to that, man, that's got to be an amazing feeling.
They're building him a statue somewhere out in Miami. They might put it right in front of the head. They might put it at Hard Rock. I don't know. But
I ain't got much. I ain't got much, but I got 5 on it.
I got $2.50.
I'll throw a dono.
Hey man, it was a pleasure. It was fun. We're back. We will be back now every Monday night at 8 p.m. So make sure you make sure you subscribe. We are on a new platform, so we do need to subscribe to let you know, hey, turn on notifications, let you know we're back. We will be trying to bring you a lot more guests. We got lucky tonight, had 3 hits, so almost had 4, but practice. We're in the middle of the season, so these young men, it's tough for them to kind of hang out with us, so they got to get bed, get ready for school and stuff like that. But it was a pleasure. I'm glad to be back. It's going to be a fun year, Canes. Keep it tuned in. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.